Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, market closed Monday, August 31st. Let's get into what happened inside my portfolio and some broader stuff in the market and what to do about it, what moves to make. But before we continue, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out, helps the channel grow, and it helps other people see this video, which will in turn hopefully make them make more money. Before we continue, also a small disclaimer. All the views discussed in this video are my own opinion, not financial advice. Please do your own research before making any investment with your own money. So some big stuff for me. Today I ended slightly down. I think I was down 0.07% in my portfolio overall. I lost, I think, 90 bucks today. Pretty flat day for me. But a lot of big movements within individual stocks to lead to my portfolio going flat. So let's talk about them. AMD up 6.16% on no news. But why this is big is it tested the $90 threshold of the share price and it did not go back down. So I'm going to be watching that stock pretty tightly over the next couple of days, because if it tests that 90 and doesn't go back down into the 80s, that's a great new floor for it to hold as we can try to push into the triple digits with this stock. I love AMD. I think it's really worth looking into and doing your own research. I think it has nowhere to go but up, as it still holds less than a third of the market share, with Intel and Nvidia being the other two big competitors. And I think as it continues to take more and more market share from Nvidia and Intel, this stock has nowhere to go but up. Microsoft down 1.48%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the news pushing it down was China came out with a new export rule making the TikTok deal look less and less likely, which short term is going to drive Microsoft down. But again, I think long term Microsoft's a big winner. So that little 1.48% down dip, I would buy a little bit on. Workhorse, stock I've talked a lot about how risky it is. Got a huge indicator today, which pushed it up 10.49% at market close. That is a huge gain for one day. And the reason why is they announced that they made a strategic partnership with Hitachi, which basically answered a lot of questions we had about Workhorse. So I've talked a lot about the USPS contract they've had worth $6.3 billion. They're a potential finalist for that contract. And one of the bearish stances with Workhorse of, should I get in? I don't really think they're poised to produce anything from this contract of USPS. And a lot of the concerns people had was production of, does Workhorse have the infrastructure to produce this many vehicles at this rate? And this partnership with Hitachi quells that doubt. Hitachi will help them produce more and more Workhorse vehicles, and the fact that they're entering this partnership so close to the contract date, or the contract being announced of who's going to win, brings up a lot of speculation that they might be getting a considerable portion of this contract. So that is why the stock price rose a lot in the short term. I think Workhorse, if they get this contract, could be $40, $50 in the short-term, mid-term time frame. So good thing to look at. I made a lot of money off of it today. I just wish I had a bigger position in it. But it is a very risky stock, because if they don't get a large portion of this contract, I think in the short term they dip probably 50%. That's why it's only 4% of my portfolio currently. Cinemark down 4%, no news, but we're going to talk about the next one. EMC down 6.67%. So two things pushing this down, I think. One, people taking gains because the stock had gone up about 30% in the past 2 weeks. So normally you'll see investors take their gains back. And the actual news pushing it down was they sold their Baltic cinemas, their foreign cinemas, for about $77 million, which will help them in the cash flow process. So I think it's actually a good thing. So personally, I hold a pretty good position in AMC. I'm buying more at market open tomorrow, because I see the 6% dip as another chance to buy the sale at a discount, to buy the stock at a discount. I think them selling their Lithuanian, their Estonian, and their Latvian theaters for $77 million is a pretty good thing. We don't know. I'm not familiar with how those countries were affected by COVID and what their return rate to normalcy looks like. But I also don't really think that those theaters were a big part of their revenue and income. I think AMC, they're one of the largest movie theaters. I don't want to talk out of my butt here and say that they are the largest movie theater operator in America, but they're up there at least, you know. So most of their revenue coming from America. I don't see this as a problem. I see them getting $77 million. Free cash flow right now is helping them survive and weather this storm. I've talked about before how their cash balance isn't the best, and I think this helps them out a lot short term. and I can see how the news would drive it down short term, but that's why I'm getting in, because I think middle, long term, this is a great move by AMC, and I love to see it. MGM down 5.7% on the day. Two reasons, again, with the gains. You'll always see investors take their gains. It's gone up about 54% in the past quarter. That's massive growth and massive production out of the stock. So you'll see people taking their gains, and they also announced that they're going to be furloughing about 18,000 employees. So that's also going to drive the stock price down. Again, those are my two plays tomorrow. I'm buying more AMC and MGM. I'm not buying a whole bunch because my cost basis for each is well below what it's currently at. My cost basis for AMC being around $4 and my cost basis for MGM being around $15. But I will put a little bit in. I'm probably going to buy around 20 to 30 shares of AMC and probably about 10 shares of MGM tomorrow morning. So about $150, $200 at each stock tomorrow morning, just to kind of add to my position, because I believe in the long-term value in these stocks, and I think a greater than a 5% dip justifies me putting more money in. The last one I want to talk about is Carnival Cruises. They went down 4.24%, bringing them to about a mid-16s price target. I've talked to a lot about Carnival before, and people have asked my opinion specifically on this stock. I think 15.5 in the 15s range is a good spot to buy in. I still think it's got a ways to go down, but I'm not selling. I'm holding, and I'm not going to buy any more tomorrow. But if it does get into the 15, 14s again, I'll probably buy some more. That covers my portfolio, what happened and why, and what I'm doing about it. The other two things I wanted to talk to you about, because I talked about it last night, was the short-term move of buying Apple and Tesla for Monday, Tuesday, and selling Wednesday. So Apple closed today up 3.39%, pretty modest gains for the day, and Tesla up 12.57%. The 12% kind of scares me. If I was if I had a position in Tesla, which I don't, I would be watching the market heavily tomorrow, and basically if I caught any whiff of downside, I'd be selling my position in Tesla, because 12% in a day is pretty freaking good. And with Apple, Apple's a way more reliable, steady company. I still expect it to grow about another 3.5%, 4% tomorrow, and then I expect it to recess about 5% on Wednesday. So if I'm an Apple holder, I'm not, first of all, disclosure, but if I was holding Apple, I would be looking to sell at about market close tomorrow and expecting about a 3 to 4% return, and then buying Wednesday midday to fully maximize the gains. If you're a long-term holder, I would just hold Apple, and then when it drops Wednesday, possibly Thursday, I would buy more Apple for the long-term gain. But that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. If you have any questions, please message me. I'll do my best to answer you guys and give you knowledge into my stock notebook. But have a good one, guys. Hope you made some money today. Good luck out on the market, and we'll see you tomorrow.